Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? Hope everybody is doing great. Happy Friday. Happy Embroidery Happy Hour Friday. Hey, guys. This has been kind of like a really crazy week for me. Mello was a little under the weather. I did post a video. So if you guys have pets, make sure you get that pet insurance. I'm telling you, because it really, really saved us a lot. So, you know, if you want, you can check out that video and stuff. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys this week about stuff that I have been working on. I kind of gave embroidery a rest this week, mainly because I had a lot going on with Mello. He was pretty sick and ended up finding out that, my dog was having problems digesting the food that I was feeding him. And I was just getting him regular dog food. He was on Pro Plan, and it's what the breeder had told us to give him, and that's something that I had given my previous dog, and we were okay with it. But somehow his stomach is a little sensitive to it, so now he's on I think it's a Science Diet by Hills, and the doctor gave us a prescription for it, and he's doing a whole lot better. And I have a feeling he actually likes that food a lot better too, because the dry food he was kind of like just looking, sniffing at it, walking around. Now this is like he just loves it. He just can't wait like for dinner time. So he is 100%. He's doing a lot better. He still has to go in for some more tests because I just want to make sure. But let me tell you, those bills. I mean, when I was talking to the vet and they were like, "Where we're gonna do the X-rays, we're gonna do the ultrasound," and the first day was like $1,600, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "This is big." Okay, so they gotta have the pet insurance. They cover 80%, and I only have to come up with 20. So I was like really relieved at that. So that way I could just focus on making sure that they do whatever they had to do for Mello. Okay, and he's doing okay. He's a little shaved in his stomach because they had to do the ultrasound. He is here with me. He's right here, as you can see by his tummy. He's a little shaved down there, but it's only hair. It'll grow back, so I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? He's good. He's just resting and stuff, and he'll be fine. And I think so. Let me tell you guys what I have been doing. Okay. Now, last week I was talking to you guys about the bobbins, right? And someone had posted about this place called Hab Plus Dash. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys the box. I actually got it this morning and I was pretty impressed by these folks. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I got in here. This is the box, and yeah, I opened it. But let me show you guys. I was able to get my bobbins, okay? And you guys were so right. It is so much cheaper getting the bobbins directly from the company. I paid I think it was like $32, I think $32.95, something like that, for a box of 100. And these are the ones that I use on my multi-needle machine. So I bought 3 boxes, and because I already have 2 here. So now my rule of thumb is always going to be I have to have 5 boxes in the shop, because the last thing I want to do is to run out of bobbins when when there's another shortage or something like that, and then you can't get them. Okay, because I don't know if you guys saw on Amazon, some people were selling them, and I saw that the prices went down a little bit. But to me, now that I paid $32.95 for a box of these, when I see them on Amazon and I see them in other websites where they're like $42, $50, I'm kind of like, that's a lot of money. So, seriously, this is the company to order from, the Hab Dash Tash. So, shout out to the person that put that in the chat last week. You are so right. Okay. Now, because this was my first time actually ordering from them, they actually sent me this box too. And I wanted to show you what was in it, which I was really, really impressed by, because I was kind of like, oh, that was really nice of them, because a lot of times you order and you just get the item, right? They don't give you anything free. So let me put these aside and let me show you what's actually in here. So I got this. And I don't know if they give this to new customers all the time. I'm not sure. Okay. Now, to get an account here, they want you to have a business account. All right. So, what I did was when I created my account, I had a copy of my LLC license. So, if you have an LLC or something like that, all you have to do is just print out a copy of that or and just scan it, and then when you create your account, just upload it. I mean, when you start creating the account, they'll tell you the type of documents that they accept. Okay. And then all I did was then, submitted that. And then once you submit it, it takes like about a day or two, and then they'll approve your account. And then after they approve your account, then you're good to go. Okay. And they had a lot of stuff. They actually have threads, they have stabilizers, and they have the bobbins. Okay. So let me show you what came in this box. So this box was kind of hard to open. So it's going to be a little thing. Okay. I was pretty impressed. As soon as I opened it, it was like this, right? And let me tell you, they gave me 3 samples of their embroidery thread, which I was kind of like, oh, okay. Now, of course, I'm used to the Madeira thread because the Madeira thread has those real big combs. But I was kind of like, okay, well, they're not going to give me the big combs for the samples and stuff like that. And I think this is 600 millimeters, something like that. I think these are the small ones. I don't think these are the big ones. Yeah. Yeah, these are the small ones. They're like 600 and stuff. So I guess these are like their samples, okay? But I was kind of like, all right, so I do want to give these threads a try. I was like, all right. And then this is the thing that I really like that they gave me. Oh man, I hope I can get it out. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to get it out now. I don't want to mess it up. Oh, there it is. Okay. And this is something that I was kind of like, oh, this is really, really nice. And they also gave me samples of extra, bobbins. They gave me extra bobbins and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, oh, and then you also get like a coupon code. You get a coupon code for the next time you order, and they also do like something called Stitch Rewards, right? So, which I thought that was pretty cool too, So I was able to get like $5. But this is the thing that really I liked a lot. Okay, this is let me put this here. I gotta keep things away from Mello because then he'll get into it. Check this out. This is all the color threads that they have. Okay, and these are all like the samples, right? Now, when you look at it, it looks like it's just like pictures and stuff. When you touch it, it's the actual thread. So you actually get to feel the thread and you actually get to see the color. I have always seen these, and I even think in All Stitch, they have one for the Madeira threads. And I think if I looked this morning, I think it was like $6.95, something like that. I think I'm going to order one of those because I do like the Madeira threads. And I think this is something that's really neat to have, because if ever like you're talking to a customer and you want to like, they don't know what color threads they have, what you could do is you could just highlight the ones that you have in shop and then show them all the threads, right? And then they can pick which ones they want. And then, as you get them, that's what I plan on doing. I'll just highlight them as I have them in here. That way I know which ones I have in stock and then order as people need them. But I have to admit, the beautiful colors, and I really like that you get to actually see what they really, really, truly look like. Because in the past, sometimes when I have ordered thread off a website, and I try to do those conversion charts, and sometimes the conversion charts will they'll tell you, okay, sim thread color number 1 is equal to Madeira thread color number whatever, right? And then you're thinking, okay, so it's a 1-for-1, right? And those are conversion charts that if you were to Google embroidery thread conversion charts, okay, you'll be able to find some. And I have some here. Hold on, let me get it for you. Here you go. Okay. This way you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. Like if you go to the Synthread website, okay? Let me put this close. Now see if you look at this, right? Synthread. Oh, there's a glare. See, this is the color, right? And then it'll give you a color number, and then here are the different types of thread and what it can be. Is this it? Yeah, it says this is the Synthread, this is the Madeira, and then this is an RA polyester. And then these are the colors that correspond with each other, okay? So I have used these charts and they're okay, but sometimes what happens is when I get the thread from Madeira and then I put it next to the thread that's sim thread or brother reed, what ends up happening is sometimes you could tell the color is a little slightly off. It's not like a true color, right? What I kind of like about having this, what really turned me on was you can actually see the color of the thread up close. So I can take another color and then I could try to match it up as close as I can possibly get it to be. And then what I can do is if I see a conversion chart and it says this number should be this color, this the number in this thread should be the number in this other thread. If I have the color chart for that other thread, I can look up that number and then do a real comparison and see if it is true, an actual true match and stuff. So I really do like this. And I think what I am going to do now is I'm going to go to All Stitch and I'm actually going to order their Madeira color chart. And because they're good to have, and that way you have all the colors. And when people come to order and stuff like that, then what ends up happening is, instead of, they used to come up here, right? And then they would have to search my walls, right? And they would be like, oh, I don't know what color, this, that, whatever, right? So now I can just come out and say, here, look at this. And the ones that are highlighted, the numbers that are highlighted are the ones that I have in shop. All the other ones, if you like them, it's just going to take a couple of extra days because I have to order the color, which I'm okay with. You know what I'm saying? So I really do like having this. I think this is pretty handy. I may not want to write on it. Probably what I'll do is I'll just take a piece of paper and and just write down the colors that I have, or a little sticker or something, I'll figure it out, maybe a pencil or something, but because this is pretty and I don't want to like mess it up and stuff, but this is like really, really, really cool, or maybe a sticky or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out and stuff, but I really wanted to share this with you guys because I thought this was like so cool. Besides getting those bobbins at a real cheap price and stuff. Where did you get that color chart book from? Oh, hey, HSS, I got this right here. This one, I got it. It actually came with from these folks right here, from just type Hab plus dash. Okay, I ordered bobbins from them. And they just gave me that welcome kit. And I thought that was like really cool. So they gave me this, plus they gave me sample threads and they gave me sample bobbins. So, to me, I was like, that's pretty cool because a lot of times I've ordered from other websites and, all you get is what you ordered. You don't get anything else, So I was, that impressed me by the company. So, for Hab Dash, thumbs up, man. That was great customer service and a good customer experience. Because remember, I always tell you guys, sometimes it's not just customer service, it's the experience that the customer gets that counts, and that's important and stuff. So I really do like this. Oh, I just bent it. Okay, I'll fix it. All right. So, this was really, really cool. And now, I also wanted to show you some of the stuff that I've been working on. Like I said, I took a little break from the embroidery, but I do have to get back on it because I have the lady that she does, she has these hounds I think it's a Gaston Hounds dogs, and she puts them in dog shows. So she has, I think, another show coming up, and she needs more towels and she needs more logos done and everything like that. So I'll have to get back on the embroidery side because I gotta fill her order. And also I have a girlfriend who is turning 60, and she's gonna have a birthday party. So I want to gift her dinner napkins. And I just finished creating her design. This is the design that I plan on putting on the dinner napkins. I just want to show it to you. This is the printout from In Brilliance. I'm going to be putting this on beige dinner napkins, which I just finished ironing. My little dinner napkin. So this is the one that I'm gonna put. I might have to shrink this a little bit because I just printed this out, and by looking at it, I think it's a little too big. Because this is something that I want to put in the corner of the dinner napkin, and I think it's a little bit too big. I might have to make this just a little bit. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'll figure it out. But but this is the design that I decided for her, and I know my girlfriend Patricia's gonna like it. So I decided to do this for her 60th birthday. These dinner napkins, I mean, guys, very very easy to do. I'll videotape myself making her dinner napkins. I plan on doing that tomorrow. I had a lot of videos that I was supposed to be doing the past week, but when Mello got sick, that all kind of put everything on the back burner. I mean, it's just like I was just out of it because all it was it's all about the dog, because that's how it is, you know. So until I couldn't figure out how to make Mello better and all that kind of stuff, everything just had to go like, in a parking lot. So, but we're back in the game now. So tomorrow morning, the plan is to start embroidering my girlfriend's dinner napkins. And one of the things that I told myself is as I create stuff, I want to videotape myself doing it. And I have to do two more of my placemats, and I will be videotaping those as well. I wanted to show you the finished product of my placemats. I will tell you, this is like my first shot at trying to quilt. It is not perfect. One reason why I say that is when you are quilting, you have to be like very, very precise in your measurements when you are stitching. Okay. I have not been that good at that, but I am going to have to get better. If you look closely at my squares, you'll see they're kind of off, but I figured they're for me. It's okay. And look at this one. This one is like way off. Okay. So you can tell. Okay. So, but it's all right. And then this one here too. See how off it is? Because it's supposed to be a straight all the way down, as you can see right here. See? So I kind of like, it's all right. But for first time, what the heck, So I did two. I was able to finish two placemats. I need four because I wanted for my small dining room table. But I think they came out pretty cute. I'm pretty proud of myself. So I was kind of like, oh, I'm not too happy with the color that I chose in the back. I think I should have picked like a beige or something, but that's okay. I'm like, whatever. Now, another thing too, if you guys want to do placemats, because these things are pretty easy to do, and I will videotape myself doing the other two of these. When I was doing these, I was like thinking to myself, this would be a really cute embroidery / sewing project. Okay. Because if you want, instead of, quilting little squares and stuff, you can just take two pieces of fabric similar to this. Okay. And then you can embroider on here a nice design, put the family's name, the last name on the side or something like that, and then you can just sew it together, and you have a really nice placemat. Okay. Now I did that also with batting, so there's batting inside of it. But that is one of the things that I was thinking when I was looking at the back, because I was like, okay, the back is kind of like big and plain, but I know that you could probably do a nice, pretty embroidery design and maybe put a family name or the names of the family member in your family. Because I don't know about you guys, but I know with me, Fred, and Cardito, it's like it's not like we have assigned chairs, but at dinner time when the three of us sit together, we always end up sitting in the same spots. So, I'm thinking it'd probably be cute if I could like make a set where each of us have our names like on the bottom and stuff. That would be pretty cool. So it was just a little project that I was playing around with. And I thought it was pretty cool. And so this was pretty cute. Let me show you something else that I started sewing. I've been quilting a lot, because the thing is, I bought the Jujuki TL 2010. So it's like it's a quilting machine, and I really wanted to play with it and mess around with it. Okay. So I've been doing a lot of that because it's not that I'm tired of embroidering. I still love embroidering, but the thing is, I want to do other stuff too. So anyway, I went to Starbucks, right? And I don't like buying their coffee because I just think it's like mega expensive. I know the coffee is good, but I also know it can get addicting. And once you get addicted to something, you'll make any excuse to keep getting the coffee. Okay, so, but when I went to Starbucks, I picked up one of their sleeves that they put around the coffee mug, right? So my girlfriend made this for me. Mary Catherine, she loves making these things, and she made one for me. And I was trying to use this to, because I make my coffee at home. I was trying to drink my coffee in here, but this cup got really, really, really hot, right? So I was like, oh, this needs like a sleeve, right? So when I went to Starbucks and I saw the paper sleeves, I picked one up. And then when I brought it home, what I did was I just opened it up and I traced it. And then I just got fabric and I just started to sew. And there's batting in here, the same thing like when I did the placemats, right? And then what I did was I just put like a little button and I put some elastic. And you just put it around your cup. Let's see. Hope I don't drop anything. And you just put the elastic in here. So this kind of worked for me. So I was kind of like, oh, this is cute. And then when I looked on YouTube, I saw a whole bunch of people already making these. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm like, this is pretty neat. But then I was also thinking also is just like the placemats, you could make these. Okay. These are just ideas that I'm throwing out there for you guys. You can make this, right? And then what you can do is you can embroider the person's name on it. So that was another thing that I was thinking about. And I was like, this would be really cute because you can embroider a nice design or something. Like if you have a friend that's a crafter and she likes to drink her coffee while she's crafting, you can sew like a little thread spool, a little spool of thread or a little sewing machine or something like that, and then put your friend's name on it, and then you give her a little thing with a button. I mean, this is really cute, and it works because now I can actually use the cup that Mary made for me, and I'm not like burning my hand and stuff like that. So I mean, I think this is like really, really cute. So this was something else that I worked on this week and stuff, which I thought was pretty cute and awesome, and it was really easy to do. So the next time you guys go through Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or any of those coffee shops and stuff, if you see the sleeve, right, just grab one. I mean, they're free. They're not gonna say anything. You just need one, and then once you get that, just open it up and then trace it. Just trace it, and then that's the size you need, and then you just put a little button on here and and you can see my sewing's a mess. Okay, I need a lot of practice on that. Okay, so and then I just got the elastic and I put the elastic on there and it was good to go. I mean, very, very simple to do. I mean, This was just me playing around with trying to learn how to quilt, right? Like putting pieces together. But you could just take an outer and an inner um, piece of fabric and, just put some batting between them, turn it inside out. And then I just sewed it shut. And, that was it. Then you just put it around the cup, and it fits nicely around the cup, and you just button it up and you're good to go. I think I put it upside down the last time. Yeah, there you go. See, looks better. See, and came out really cute. So I was kind of like, oh, this is neat. So you could tell I was looking for stuff to do. So I was like, this is pretty neat and stuff. And I think so. I was like, this is pretty cool. And if you really think about it too, another thing you could do is you could create little sets, like you could do the placemats, and then with the same fabric of the placemats, you can do little coffee things, these little, I don't know what you call them, is if it's coffee cup cozy or something. I don't know. But just the holder, the coffee holder, and you could do it the same color, and then you can have like a little set and stuff. So, that comes out pretty cute. Now, let me show you another thing that I did too. Now, this was kind of cute. My girlfriend kind of laughed at me because I was watching YouTube, right? And there was a lady, and she made a Japanese handbag. And this is what a Japanese handbag is. Isn't this cute? Very easy to make. Now, what it is you open it up, and this is really what it is. It's one handle is shorter than the other, and then you just take this and you put it through here, and then it's like you just carry it like that. So I thought this was like super cute. So I just had leftover fabric. I didn't put any batting or anything on there. And I found the pattern. I got the patterns right here. Hold on, I got the pattern. The pattern is from, okay. The pattern is, I think if you look up in YouTube, it says Hello Sewing, and this is her pattern. She gives you the pattern for free. So all I did was just cut up the pattern. You just tape it up and everything, and then I just do the inner and the outer. And in the video, she shows you exactly how to sew it, where you just sew this first, and then you sew the handles and stuff. And it came out really, really cute, and I kind of like it. And then what I did, and I don't have the face mask with me now, but what I did was I sewed myself a face mask out of the same fabric. And then I was like, oh, and then when I walk around with my bag, I have my face mask that kind of match my bag. So, I mean, those are little projects that I've been working on and stuff. And then I've also been working on some new kitchen towels. I did this kitchen towel, and I put it on my Etsy shop. I found these new designs, really, really cute. I like these designs because they're not very, very dense. Because the denser the design, an embroidery design, then what happens is you have more and more thread, right? So this embroidery design is not too dense, and I kind of like that. So I was playing around with the designs to see how they look when I embroider them, and I decided to make it for Deborah. She's the one that walks mellow for me. She's real nice lady and stuff, so I figured I'll give it to her as a gift and everything. And that's usually what I do when I make my kitchen towels. I'll as I make them, and you need a name and stuff like that. I'll just put my girlfriend's name on it, and then I'll just put it, just do the sample with them, and then I'll take the picture of it, and then I'll just give it to them as a gift and stuff. That way I don't just have a kitchen towel, because I can only get so many kitchen towels, right? Because if I do all the kitchen towels to say Jeanette, like right now, I think on my Etsy shop, I think I have over 40, I think 45 kitchen towels. So that's too many kitchen towels. I only need one. So, I've been doing that. Now, my next project, one of the things that I want to do is I wanted to do teapot cozies. Okay. I'm part of a group in my neighborhood. There's like a group of ladies that they get together, and it's like once a month they just go somewhere, right? Somewhere neat, just to have lunch or just something new to do, right? So this past week, what we did was we did a tea lunch. And I'm not much of a tea person, I better start getting into it though. But I'm not much of a tea person, but we went to a tea house and it was really, really nice. I mean, they had a whole bunch of different teacups and plates and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I noticed was when they brought the tea kettle to me, they had a quilted covering on top of it, and they called it a tea cozy. So I was kind of like, when you sew and when you do embroidery and you see certain things like that, only first thing that always comes through your mind is, oh, can I make that? So I was, it was kind of funny because like the ladies were all there sitting, drinking their tea, talking, and I'm there in the corner, going asking everybody, "Can I see your tea cover?" Because and I'm like looking at it to see how they quilted it, what kind of trimming they put on it, and all that kind of stuff. So what I started doing was I started going through YouTube, and I started, looking to see, does people have anybody ever like sewn a tea cozy, right? Do they have patterns and stuff? I found two, and I'm going to give them a shot. I have one from Shabby Fabrics, and this one's pretty easy. All it is to do two pieces. I cut out her pattern, and then this is another one, and this is from Daydreams of Quilts. And this one is supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be easier. This one you just cut on a fold, so it's like you have, like this, and then you just, it's kind of like you just put it on top of the tea kettle. So there's two different patterns that I have. This one, what it does is it folds over, and then you like tie it up with a ribbon. It looked really cute. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to make them because I think that would be pretty cute, And then if it looks cute, maybe I'll buy myself a tea kettle or something, I don't know. It was just something that caught my eye because I never saw it before, I didn't know that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a really nice experience. I mean, one of the things is I always had all the dishes and all the cups and everything matched. One of the things that was really interesting when I went to the tea lunch was that everyone's sauce, the cup, everybody's cup and saucer and plate and everything, everyone had a different design, which I actually kind of liked because it was like really nice to see the different type of dinnerware, so it was pretty cool. So now I'm going, my next adventure is I want to make quilted tea tea kettle cozies and stuff like that. So this whole week has been just sewing for me, because I kind of like wanted to get back onto that side, but I know that starting this weekend I'm gonna have to get back on this side over here and play with these babies and the SC 1900 as well, because I'm going to be having all three machines working on, my girlfriend's dinner napkins, and also I'm going to have to finish that, do the customers' orders and stuff like that. So I want to go down to the list. I mean, that's really all I have for this weekend and stuff. One of the things I do want to make more videos, and I do have ideas for a lot more videos that I'm going to be posting. But like I said, the schedule got very sidetracked with everything going on with Mello and stuff. So I was like, now that we are back, everything is good and he's 100%. You know, I can get back into the role of things and everything. So, I do want to do, I want to, I already did the video on embroidering a pocket pillow. I did that one for Robin. I do want to do the video on these dinner napkins that I'm going to make for Patricia. And I think there was another there, I know I have a list. I have a whole list of other videos that I want to do. Um, but if you guys have questions or ideas or something that, or a specific problem that you need resolved and stuff, or you're trying to get it but you just don't understand, let me know, and then I can create a video, because chances are that when you run into a wall, you're not the only one. A lot of times, a lot of us are learning, and we get to help each other. And I know, me personally, I'm a visual learner. I like to see the videos, which is, I think, one of the reasons why I love watching the YouTube videos so much, because I like to see people do the steps, all the steps. But I like to watch people that do all the every single step. Sometimes you'll watch some folks, and I'm not a fan of when they say, "Oh, you just do this," and then they'll just say, "Okay, after you do this, it's gonna look like this," and then they throw it aside and they go down. You do this. I actually like to see the person do the whole process. Okay, because to me, it makes me understand it a little better, and you get to see the steps, and it's like you don't see anything missed. And when I do them also, even when I make all the steps, when I do my videos and I make the steps, if I screw up, I like to leave it in the video anyway, because the thing is, we all mess up. Nobody's perfect. We all mess up. We all have our things. I mean, like, when just like talking about these placemats, everybody's like, "Oh, they came out cute," but you know, like this one, I think came out a lot better, because you could see the lines are a little like more straighter. But when you look at the second one, I think this was the first one. Well, whatever. This one's jacked up. Okay. This one is really jacked up, especially if you look at the first row. Because if you see how this is supposed to be in line with this, and you see how it's off, how this just comes off like that. It's not supposed to be like that. And that's when I learned the hard way that when when they say to sew a quarter of an inch, that means a quarter of an inch. That doesn't mean half an inch or eyeball it like that. So I learned the hard way. Okay. This was an eyeball. I was eyeballing it. I was like, "Oh, it looks all right. It looks like a quarter of an inch." I should have been looking at the plate on the machine where it actually said a quarter of an inch, and making sure that the edge of the fabric was on that plate, and I didn't do that. And you could actually, I mean, you could really tell here that I just did not do what I was supposed to do. So, but I know that this takes time and it takes skill. And then when I started to really pay attention, you could tell this is a lot better. I mean, it's not 100, but it's not so off. It's not so off, but it's okay. I mean, it's just me playing around. Now, I would love to make a huge big quilt. Okay. Um, I think this was my way of just trying it out, trying it small. I was like, I don't want to, like, do a whole big thing and then it's like a mess, right? And then I'll just get frustrated. So I figured little successes will make me feel good. And then as time goes on, then I will get it bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. But I think my confident level has gotten a little bit better. The binding was not bad either. I think though that I messed up on the binding, because what I was doing was I saw some people, when it comes to the binding, they take like one strip and then they have another strip going this way, and then they kind of like sew it in a diamond. All I did was take the strips and put them together. That's all I did. And I just sewed it all flat. So if you look at all of the seams here, by the binding, it's just a straight line right here. Okay. And then let me see where else. Right here's another one. And if you feel it, it does feel a little bulky where I had joined it in. But that's okay. I mean, it's my first one. So I mean, I think it's cute. I'll use it. I'll use it. I think it's okay. So I'll live with it. And then the Japanese bag came out really cute too. And this is another thing that I was thinking about with the Japanese bag is I was like thinking this is really, really cute. You can embroider your friend's name on the handle. I was thinking about that. And then I was also thinking you can embroider like their initial on here. I mean, this is, if you get like a plain pattern, maybe you can do something really cute, embroider some stuff on there really nice. This was just a nice pattern that, fabric that I have because I'm looking at all my fabric stashes and I'm trying to get rid of my scraps, right? So this was like a scrap thing, right? I was trying to do the scraps. So I'm trying to get rid of them, all of the small ones. And see, now the thing too that I noticed with my scraps is a lot of them have so many, the colors are so many different variations that if I was to try to quilt them together, I don't know how they would look. They would probably kind of look kind of funky, because I'll have like blues and grays and all these different colors all over the place. But I'm gonna try to do some cute stuff, and stuff. We'll see, everything. So let me go down the line and stuff and say hi to everybody and stuff. Oh, I see somebody said they're a quilter. Hey, Mina and stuff. See, I want to learn, but it's gonna take some time. But I love embroidering, but I know that I can put like I'm trying to put like the embroidery with the quilting together, and I think that'll be really, really cool. Hey, Robin, how are you? I see Yolanda and Iris and Barbara. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Hey, Iris. Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? Happy Friday. Hey, Sassy. Hey, Liliana in Broad Print now. How you doing, muchacha? Hey, Tiana, I see Portland, Iris. Hey, crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing, hon? Hey, Nancy. I see Gail. Hey, Miss Max. Hey, Miss Banks. Everyone from Woodbridge, we're glad to hear Bella's doing better. Oh, thank you, Miss Max. I appreciate that. I'm glad too, because let me tell you, I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried because he gets into so many stuff. There have been a couple of times where he has run out of this room with my embroidery thread in his mouth. Um, that's why I always try to be very, very neat, especially when it comes to pins and stuff like that. I always keep those in specific places and I have them in really tight cases because, animals are like kids, they'll get into anything. So you really have to keep an eye and be careful and stuff. So even though I like having him in the room with me, I always have to make sure I'm very, conscientious of what he does and stuff. But once in a while, he's so sneaky that he'll get away with something. So I gotta watch him and stuff. I've been in an embroidery slump. Haven't turned on my machine about 2 weeks. Hey Cheryl, we all get into it. And this is the other thing. I mean, you're not alone. I mean, and even when I do the video, sometimes I get into that video slump. I look at the machines and I look at my serger and I'm like, I got a serger. I really want to make the best out of that serger. And I love it. I really do. I already made one shirt and then I went and I bought two other different types of fabric so that I can make the same shirt so I could practice with my serger and stuff. And the fabric is just sitting there. So, I have to actually get in there and start sewing that. We all get into that slump. I have been in it myself. And to let you guys know, I saw something online called an electric scissor. Okay, electric fabric scissor. Now, I saw that the Crafty Gemini a while back, I think a couple of years back, she did a review on it, and a couple of people had done a review on it, but I haven't seen anybody like use it lately, right? So I'm like thinking to myself, I wonder how this is. So I saw it on Amazon. I did order it because the thing that I like about ordering from Amazon is you buy it and you try it out. And if it doesn't work out, you could always return it, right? So I have that on order and I'm pretty excited because one of the things that I don't like too much about the sewing is the cutting of the fabric. I have a cut quilt too, right? And I like that cutting board, and I like the way that it holds the ruler so that I can cut straight, because that's the thing when you're cutting fabric, sometimes you kind of like curve a little bit, especially with a rotary cutter, and sometimes you don't cut straight the way you're supposed to, right? So I hate cutting fabric because I feel like that's so time consuming and everything, and it kind of like, after I cut the fabric, it's like bleh, I'm like done. I love playing with the machine. I mean, I'm just one of those that I just like taking the stuff, putting it together, and like, I like getting in that machine. But of course, just like when you embroider, if you don't take the time to hoop correctly using the right stabilizer, threading the machine, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of times people, when they say, oh, embroidery is easy, no, there is so much prep work that goes before pressing that button. Okay, first you got to load the machine, I mean the design, then you have to change all your threads to make sure that the machine has all the threads that you need. And then you got to hoop the item. So all of that has to take place before you actually press that button. Well, when it comes to sewing, you got to cut your fabric, and you got to cut your fabric right, because if you don't have the measurements right, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to sew it right. It's going to come out all messed up, like the curtains that I sewed with my mother a long time ago, and she told me to sew slow, and I did it, and they didn't come out right. So it can, I'm hoping that these electric scissors will make it easier for me to cut the fabric, like work quicker and easier, so that I can just put it down and just cut around. But we'll see. And when I get those scissors in, I'll do a video of me using the scissors, and I'll let you guys know, am I going to keep it or am I going to return it and stuff. We'll see. When I saw some of the reviews on it, those scissors, they seem kind of loud, like they're pretty loud. But I'm like, hey, we got an embroidery machine, right? Embroidery machines are loud. So, I mean, I don't know. But we'll see when it comes in. We'll see how that works out and stuff. So Cheryl just handing in there, you know, everybody's entitled to a little break once in a while. We all get it and stuff. Hey Lucy, how are you? Hey Leslie. Oh, she's from the Woodbridge family too. You guys are not far from me at all. You guys are probably like 35 minutes away, because I'm in Haymarket. I'm just like on the other side and stuff. Hey Alice. Hey Lady Jean, how you doing? Glad you found your bobbins. It was me. Yes, Eartha. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, girl. Let me tell you. Shoot. I think that is where I will get my bobbins for now on. I will not be getting them from Amazon or anything. And guys, seriously, because if you have a LCC or something like that, their prices were really, really good. I'm telling you, that's where to go. Go to Hab plus Dash. I mean, that was awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Eartha. I appreciated that. I really do, and stuff, because I mean that you saved me a lot of money too. Because when I finally got the account on Hab.com, on that company, right? I had already pre-ordered from Amazon. So I went on Amazon and canceled my order, because Amazon, I think, was charging $42 a box, and they charged me $32.95 a box. So and then I had ordered 3. So that's $30 that you saved me, girl. You saved me some bucks. Thank you. I'm telling you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And stuff. Hey, Lady Jean, how you doing? Oh, you have a blurry. I hope it's okay now and stuff. Amazon raised the price again this week, $60. I got some from Majority Off Stitch this week for 36. See, yep, Crafty Journal. And you gotta watch the prices. And it's kind of funny because it's like, and this is the thing that what I was trying to say last week was, you know, when your prices for your supplies go up, that minimizes your profit, okay? Especially if you're selling and stuff like that. Because what ends up happening is, you're going to be bringing home less. So one or two things is going to happen. Either you're going to eat up the cost or you're going to have to up the price. And the one that's going to eat up the cost is your customer. And I got to be, I really don't want, I've always, with the way I price my things, I want them to always be fair. I'm not looking to be a millionaire off of it. Okay. I just wanted to be fair to both parties. And, when I saw that those bobbins were going up, it was crazy. And then thank goodness Eartha told me about that, because I'm like, oh my God, so those bobbins, I mean, think about it, that's $10 a box cheaper. But Crafty Puerto Rican, I mean, $36 is not a bad price either, because I mean, what are you talking about? $4 more? That's not much. That's $4 more isn't that much. But $10 more, that's a whole $10 bill. That's a lot to me. So I'm like, nah. Hey Norma, how are you? How you doing? Hey Sandra. So funny. I just signed up yesterday, but I did not see here home last week. Paid $79 for the bobbins, exactly the same as yours. Yep. Almost cried. Next time yes, Sandra, I'm telling you, it's awesome. You can print off charts on their websites. Oh, you're talking about, okay, the charts. Yeah, you can. But you know what I want to do? Instead, see, these are the ones that I have printed out, Sandra, and they're okay. But the thing is, when I saw the book that they get, right? When you look at this, I know you probably can't tell, but see, there's like a little thing. This is the actual thread, okay? So what I really like about this is that you actually see the thread and the real color of the thread, okay? As for like when you are printing something out, it depends on your printer, and then also it depends on, the computer, how it makes the color look. So I like this better, because you actually really see what the thread is really seriously gonna look like. And there have been times when I had looked at a certain color in sim thread, and then I say, okay, this is the color that I want in Madeira, because don't get me wrong, I love sim thread, and I have boxes and boxes of sim thread. And the reason why I do that is because I don't need the huge comb of every single color in there, okay? The only time that I buy the big combs is when there's a particular color that I use a lot. I use a lot of the browns, I use a lot of blues, I use a lot of gold. So those type of colors, like in Christmas, I use a lot of red, the green, the emerald green, I use a lot, black, white. Those colors, I want the big combs, because those, I'm gonna be buying those small combs. They'll last a little bit, but the thing is, the way I pump out orders, especially during the busy seasons, I need those big combs because I can't be running out. So, but when it comes to certain designs, sometimes, like light pink or gray, or different types of greens, you know, I don't I don't use them often. Those are just colors that I use depending if a design calls for it. So I'm okay with having the small comb of those colors, and I'm fine with that. But the thing is, when it comes to a particular color that I need, I really like the big comb. And when I try to buy the big comb of certain colors that I was running out of, then what happened was I saw there was a slight difference in the color. I mean, on the computer, it looked the same. And when I printed out the chart, it looked the same. But you know, when the thread actually came in and I put the threads side by side, they weren't the same. So I'm kind of like, okay, so I kind of really do like this idea because you actually can really see if it is the true color that matches, or find the one that's really close. Now one of the things is I'm going to order some from them because I want to see how big is their comb. Okay, because I'm interested in the big combs, not the little ones. Unless it's, you know, well, let me think. Yeah, no, I like the big combs because like I'll tell you right now, like the some of my customers, right, when they do their logos, like the lady with the dog show and stuff like that, there's certain she has certain logos that have certain colors, and sometimes she comes with other logos that she wants me to do, and she's looking for other particular colors too. And the thing is, sometimes you think it's just a one time order, and what ends up happening is it's more than a one time order. She ends up ordering a lot more. Like when I did those towels that say exquisite on them, she liked them so much. Now she's bringing more towels for me to do them. So if I just had the small one, then you know it's like it's gonna run out. So now I had to do like the big comb, you know. So I think I made sense. I don't know. Well, I hope I made sense to you. Um, let me see. Let's see. I got the thread shorts from Madeira, and yeah, see, I need to get the ones from Madeira. Leslie, that's the one I want to get and stuff. Hey, Miss Jackson, how you doing? Hey, Susan. Um, it's on hold for a while. Fell and broke my wrist. Has surgery to. Oh, I hope you get better, Susan. Hey, She Hat, how are you? Hey, Being Pam. Hi, everyone. I'm using my extra account today. um, is that Harmony? I think that's Harmony. I think it is. Yeah. Is it? Yep, it's her. Hey, Harmony, how you doing? It took me a while to put two and two together. Hey, Iris, I'm sorry, but they correspond. They are way off. Let me see. See. Hey, Tana. Um, any other questions or comments? I got the charts from All Stitch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm definitely gonna have to do that because and I hope the charts from All Stitch are exactly like this. Let me know. I hope so. I hope that it has like the little things, because I don't know. Let me try to put it closer so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you look, it's like it has little boxes. See how it's little boxes? So this is actual thread that's in here, you know, so you get to see what the thread looks like. So that's what I am hoping that the color charts from All Stitch look like, so that way I can actually see the color of the thread. That's what I'm hoping. So hopefully there is and stuff. Hey, it's just, where did you get the color chart book from? Oh, okay. So what I did, AHS, this is just something that I created myself. What I did was, if you go to simthread.com, where the company is, and you look for, just Google SimThread conversion chart, color conversion chart. Just Google this. Just Google this, okay? And then what I did was I printed this out, and then I have a laminator, okay? So I just print it out and I laminate it. So usually this is just something that I have that I keep together, okay? This is from the Sim Thread. This is another one, another color conversion chart that I found. This one, what it does is it has embroidery country, it has Madeira, the poly, the rayon, the silky rayon. Let me see. And then this chart is the it says color conversion from the Thread Nanny. I don't know if you guys remember a while back I did a video because I bought Thread Nanny embroidery thread, and it was like a big set of like 240 colors, and it was like it was a very reasonable price. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that set because it's more colors, and then sometimes you'll want to embroider a design, and you want to change up the colors a little bit and stuff. And so I bought the thread, and I love it because it gives me a lot more variety of colors and stuff. Now the only issue is, if I use some of those threads, right, how am I going to replace those threads? So that's what I'm hoping that this solution would work out, because if I'm using some of those threads, and I want to replace that color, at least I could try to find from either Madeira or use the ones from Habdash, uh, you know, a color that is at least as close to it, and then I can order from there and stuff. So this is really what I have. SS. This is what I did. I just put this together. This is just something that I have. And then, I just have a lot of stuff. Like, this is my Hoop Master replacement instructions. So whenever I have like instructions and stuff like that, or charts that I'm going to be using frequently, I usually print them out, and then I laminate them, and then I just get a hole puncher, and then I just tie a ribbon around it, and I keep them all together in one place. So this is like really cool, because if, like, let's say somebody comes with a shirt, right, and they say I need a logo and stuff like that. So before I go and I put it on my Hoop Master that's back there, I need to know the placement of the logo. So I'll just grab this, and I know that I have the little chart attached, and I'll just look it up. And then what I'll do is I just keep all this together, and it's all tied with a ribbon, and then I just hang it over there on the wall. I just hang it on the wall. So it's just the way that I try to stay organized and stuff. It works for me. I even have the Cricut for, like, when you're using the Cricut heat press, the Cricut iron and stuff like that. I have that in here where it actually tells you the type uh of material and how long you're supposed to, the temperature and how many seconds and stuff like that and everything. So I just keep everything together. It just makes it easier for me. That way I don't have to like scrounge around going, oh my God, where did I put that? I know that if it's something that I'm going to refer to a lot, then I'll just print it out. I laminate it, and then I just pop the hole, and then I just add it to the stack, and then I just hang it. So it's just a little system that I have that kind of works for me and stuff. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Let me see. So I was frustrated when I tried to match Sim Slab with another brand. Oh, they didn't correspond. I wonder who didn't correspond. I wonder if that was Sim Thread or the All Stitch folks. But Madeira and stuff. That's why I really want these charts, because I feel like this would be so much better and so much easier, and you know what you're getting. That's the thing. You know what you're getting. That was the frustrating part, was that I ordered all this thread, and then when the thread came, and I looked at the thread, it wasn't really the color that I thought it was. And then I'm like, what do you do with the thread? You just have it. You're not going to return it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, so I already have a couple of spools back there that I'm kind of like, I'll figure out something to do with them, so it can get kind of frustrating. So I just want to make sure that I can find a way that when I'm buying the thread, I know exactly the color that I'm getting. Because if I go to the sewing shop, they have embroidery thread, but they have the little spools. And for someone that, it's okay to get the small spools, but then what ends up happening is each of those small spools, sometimes they're like $5-6, right? So I have to like buy several of them. I'd rather just buy the big one. I just want the big one, and I'll get 2 or 3 of the big one, and then I have them in stock, and I know I'm good for like hopefully a year, and stuff. So that's just, how it Let's see. Hey, Sandra, how are you? Hey, Allison. There's a color chart. $40. Wow, their color charts. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. I mean, sometimes that's the other thing that I have to tell you that I like about this company. They did not. I didn't pay for this. They threw this in as because I was a first time customer. They actually threw it in my welcome kit, which I'm like, wow, this is really nice. Some people they make you pay for it. I mean, I'm gonna have to for the Madeira thread. I'm gonna have to ditch out a couple of bucks for it. But they didn't, and I'm kind of like, oh, that's why I want to order a couple to see how big are their combs and I also want to see how the thread looks and how it feels, and how it works on my machine. If it works great, then I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I may end up saying, all right, I'll just use the Madeira thread that I have right now. Maybe I'll stick with Hab Dash. Maybe I'll stick with theirs because I really liked it. I mean, they gave me a coupon code for the next time that I shop, and every time you buy from them, you get points, right? Rewards that you can use. So I kind of like to me, I'm kind of like, oh, I like that because when I buy from these other places, I'm not getting that. I'm not really getting rewards or anything like that, and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's good to have lots of options. That's how I look at it. It's hey Tana, how are you? I got mine for the local Marina cord. I don't know what ice cord is. I'm gonna have to look that up and stuff. Hey Angela, Mello is doing much, much better. He's right here. Let me show you guys. He's napping as always, doing what he does best and stuff. But he's doing good. As you can see by his stomach, he's a little shaved because they did an ultrasound. The ultrasound came out okay. We just have to change his diet, and they did give me some B12 shots to give him and stuff. They gave me the injections, but I ain't giving no injection. So I'll be putting him in the car and I'll drive over there and I'll give him the injection and go, can you do it for me? I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would suck as a nurse. I'm just not nope. I'll have the crafty Puerto Rican come and give it to me for me. That's what I'll do. Let's see. Design's good. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. I know she's gonna love it. I mean, she's gonna love the dinner napkins and stuff. And those dinner napkins are really very unique gifts. I mean, one of the things that someone told me when they ordered a set for Christmas from me is they said that they consider that like a heirloom. And she said that when someone gifts you something like that, she says usually that's passed down in the family. And I didn't know that. I just didn't know that because I was just embroidering them like crazy. But I didn't know that those were stuff that actually got passed down and stuff because the lady had ordered from me and she ordered a lot. And she was like, I wanted a set for all my children. And she said, because when I pass, I want them each to have their own set. And I was just like, oh, and she goes, yeah, people usually pass these types of things down. So it was kind of nice to know because I was just like, oh, and it kind of made me feel special that I did that for her. So anyway, but I figured I would make that for my girlfriend and I'll put a little note for her to enjoy all her dinners with her family and her friends and stuff, make them more memorable. So I think she's really gonna like it. I think, I really like the way the design came out too. It's the let me see. Don't worry about the quilt police. Yeah, but you want to make it right, And so those are very pretty. Thanks, HS. Like the colors. For the first time, it looks great. Thanks, Barb. Love the placemats. Thank you. Hey, Trisha. You did a great job on your plate. Thanks, Eartha. Appreciate it. Same way in my house, too. I guess everybody sits in the same spot all the time. And it's not like it's a sign. It's just dinner's ready and everybody sits in the same chair. So it's like, I'm like, it's kind of funny because it's like an automatic thing. Everybody has that same chair. So I think probably maybe I'll on the next four placemats, I'll put the name on each placemat and stuff, and it'll be cute on the coffee sleeve. Oh, thank you, Angela. That cuppy co's a cute idea. It is a cute idea. And I mean, it's kind of, I kind of liked it. I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cute. But then when I went on YouTube, I found a lot of people were making these. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, and the thing is, you don't really need a pattern. Like I said, just go to Starbucks. It's just a sleeve. And you can just open it up, just rip it open it up, and then you have your shape right there. And then all you gotta do is cut the fabric around it, cut the fabric, batting, the outer, the inner, and the batting. Sew it all together, turn it inside out, put a little button on there, and you're good to go. I'm telling you. Or if you want, I don't know. I was thinking about doing a snap, because I was thinking, oh, I could do, if I make it a little closer and then I could snap over it. But what I was thinking was, you don't want to I was thinking maybe a snap is not good because you have hot coffee, and then if you snap it and if you have to push it too hard, you may end up pushing into the cup. If you have a paper cup or something like that, you push it into the cup, and the next thing you know, you spill the coffee all over yourself. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play it safe. Button's the way to go, because that way, this is real simple. It's just going around. That's all it is. You just go. Oh, there you go. Okay, you just go around the button, and then you're good to go, and it's secure. But if you had to like snap it in, then it's kind of like, it can get kind of iffy, because what if you have to snap it hard, and the next thing you know, you push too hard, and then you spill coffee all over yourself. So I was like, okay, I'm sticking with the button idea, because I think the button is safer and stuff. Let me see. Let's see who else has got. Anybody got game? Can you use those on the SC1900? Oh, okay, Stephanie. If you're talking about the bobbins, those magnetic bobbins are the ones that I use for the multi-needle machine. Okay, they have like a magnetic cord. When you are using bobbins on the SC1900, what you're going to want is you're going to want the bobbins with the plastic sides. But I believe that company might have those bobbins. Okay, I would look and just check it out, and you never know. Okay, so I would just check it out, and if they do, then see how much they charge for it. Okay, and then I always tell people, price comparison, always, always, always. Sometimes Amazon has the best price, sometimes they don't. Sometimes, like when I bought my serger, right, they have the same serger on Amazon, but Amazon at that time, I think, wanted $260, right? But then when I went on Walmart.com, that same exact, it's the same serger, okay? Because I got the Brother 1034DX. That was $199. So, I mean, you're talking about $60 difference. So, and when I ordered it on Walmart.com, I got it the very next day too, just like if I had ordered it from Amazon. So to me, it was just, the only difference was I had $60 more in my pocket. That's it. Okay. So I truly believe in price comparison. I mean, when you're looking for something, so like when bobbins, stabilizer, and stuff, look around, see how much Amazon is selling them for. Look at Walmart, look at Fab and Dash, look at All Stitch, look at Sewing Machine Plus is another good place that sells stuff. Or another thing you can do is just go to google.com, type in the part number, hit enter, and then go to the tab that says shopping. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll show all the different vendors that sell that product and their prices. And then you can just go from there. And if it's the same exact thing, Why pay more? It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. So keep that money in your pocket. I'm serious. Especially if you're into embroidery, because think about it. It's an expensive hobby. It really is, and it's expensive as a hobby, as a business, you know. I mean, but the thing is, when I'm and don't get me wrong, because this is the thing. Also, think about quality too, okay? Because just because something's the cheapest price doesn't mean it's the best. And so when I'm talking about doing the price comparison, I'm talking about the product that you want, but it's just that one place is selling it at one price and one place is selling it at a cheaper price. But it's the exact same thing, okay? Now, when it comes to certain stabilizers and thread and all that kind of stuff, everybody's quality um preference is different. Okay, like some people like a particular brand of thread, some people like a particular brand of stabilizer because that's what works for them. And there is no such thing, in my opinion, there is no such thing as what is the best thread, what is the best stabilizer, because there's a lot of things that go into that goes into factor in when you're embroidering. Okay, you got to think about the fabric that you're using. The different types, different fabrics have weight, they have different texture. So, threads behave differently depending on the situation. Okay. The thread will behave differently depending on the type of fabric that you're using, whether it's leather, cotton, um, fleece, terry cloth. It's going to be different. It's all going to determine the different stabilizers that you use. Okay, because the stabilizers that you use is going to depend on the thread the fabric that you're going to be embroidering on. So there's a lot of things, and I know it can get a lot confusing and stuff like that. And for those that are new, you guys are probably right now going, "Oh my god, what the hell is she saying?" Like, what is this? What did I get into? Relax, don't worry. The knowledge comes in time, and a lot of times too, this knowledge comes with a lot of trial and error. You have no idea how many dinner napkins I've messed up, how many towels I've messed up. um it's gonna come to you. You're gonna end up putting the pieces together as you start embroidering, and then as time goes on, trust me, your artwork, when I'm talking artwork, I'm talking about your embroidery and everything, it's gonna come out nicer, it's gonna look cleaner, it's gonna look fresh, like really like on point. And as you start to embroider more and more, and as you start to experiment with different types of threads, different types of threads on different types of fabric, using different types of stabilizers, it all comes together. It really does. It all comes together towards the end. And before you know it, you're going to be an expert. You're going to be like, oh, what's the fabric? Okay, I know exactly what I need to use for that so that I can make the embroidery really looks nice. It's all going to come together. So, don't worry. Oh, I see Angela put down what do you call it? You could use Velcro on, you know what? And I did not think about that. That is a very good idea. She said, put Velcro on here. And that, I really like that idea, Angela. I think that is that, yeah. And I have Velcro. Maybe I should make another one putting Velcro on here instead of a button. And I bet you that probably would have been easier too. Because, as you can see, the way the button, I did not use the machine for the button. I just hand sewed it, and you can see it's a mess. It looks all it looks all jacked up in there. But hey, it's holding it, but it looks nice in the front. It does. It looks nice in the front. So see, I did a little even cross in the front. So and that's okay, because I figured nobody's looking back here anyway. So I'm like, so it worked. Let me see. Is there other stuff in there? Let's see what else, because I always like to make sure. I made a lot of Starbucks with my Cricut on the porch. Yeah, my girlfriend, she got a Cricut, and she's been making a lot of these. I think I have like 5 from her. She has made one that says Tesla rider and all that kind of stuff and everything. And she did this one for me, which is like so cool. I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull it out today and stuff. Check out Designs by Judy. She has so many different end-to-end with power tools thread to show that in the end. I have to check them out. Cute handbag. Thanks, Walk by Faith. I thought it was really cute too. It's different, right? It's kind of different and everything. So I was like, this is pretty cute. I've been having like I got this like $20 pocketbook, but it broke, So I was just like, let me see if I could sew something together because I don't like using my expensive handbags for everyday use. So I figured this for just going to the supermarket and stuff works just fine and stuff. And I got to use my fabric. Love the towel designs. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Let's see. Anything? Sorry, Jeanette. I'm a coffee Eve drinker. I'm a bit late. Happy to be here. Hey, Ivy. How are you doing? I understand that baby comes. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Mel aboard. Let me tell you, had me a little worried, Found the website, still looking to see where the actual pattern. What you could do, HSS, when I saw the YouTube videos, what I do is if you're looking for the pattern of the look up Japanese, hold on, Japanese handbag. Hold on. If you go to Sewing Hello, Japanese knot bag. That's what it's called. Japanese knot bag. If you do a search for this, okay, and it's Hello Sewing, a lot of times what they'll do is on the videos where they show how to sew things, they'll have like, hey, click a link below and you could get your free pattern, right? Sometimes you just got to give them your email address, which is okay, I mean, it doesn't bother me. And then like with the tea cozies, it's the same thing. I just, I would just do, if you're interested in this one, do a teapot cozy. And I know this one is from Scrappy Fabrics. Okay. Just do that. And then you just click on her video and you could get this pattern too. And then for this one, it's here's a website. It's called Daydreams. Daydreams. So what? I don't know what. Oh, Daydreams of Quilts. Okay, do Daydreams of Quilts, and then this is the pattern, and you could get it right off of the video also. So HCC, that's where I got these. Okay, these are not my patterns. I got these from those YouTubers, and I just want to sew them and see how they come out and stuff, and then they probably make cute gifts, And so, especially if you have friends that love to drink tea and they have their own little tea kennels and stuff where they like to warm their water and stuff like that, that would make a really cute gift. You can personalize it for them and stuff like that. So that would be kind of cute. They probably would like it, Yeah, but yeah, I would check out HSS. Go to the YouTube video and they'll have that link there. Okay. Let's see. Portia going to see. Not everybody's going to see your mistakes, especially if they don't sew or embroider. Push. Yeah. You are right. I mean, but and it's funny too, because I don't know if you guys do this. When I go shopping, like I remember once I was shopping with my cousin, Betty, and she kind of like, gives me that look because I remember when she picked out a blouse or something, it has some kind of embroidery, and she's like asking me if it's cute. And then when I looked at it, I just turned it inside out because I wasn't focused on whether the shirt was cute. I just wanted to see, what stabilizer did they use on this? Did they use cutaway? Because they should have used cutaway. You always like to look to see how they do things. But when it's your thing, I mean, you're right. I mean, people at the dinner table ain't gonna come out and say, "Oh, these aren't aligned right." You didn't quilt unless they're an actual quilter. If they're a quilter, then yeah, they're gonna know, and stuff. But I think I don't have really too many people in my family that sew and stuff. So except my sister Nancy, but she's in Florida and stuff. So she won't see those placemats and stuff. Hey, Beanie. I am a quilter. um, Let me see. I think Ivy had a question about the charts. I think I saw that somewhere. Um, okay, I have the equipment, but I just don't know how to come up with the original designs. Okay, I think you're talking about embroidery designs. Ivy, you don't have to come up with your own. I mean, all right, this design that I did, this is not okay. This was purchased, okay? These are called, if you look up, if you do like a search on Etsy, and you look for embroidery frame designs, okay? That's all this is. This is a frame. And then what I do is I just take, I buy my embroidery fonts, and then I pick a font that's real pretty, and then I just put the initial right inside the frame. And what I do is I just, save it in Brilliance as one file, and then I just take it over to my SC1900 and stitch it out. Very, very easy to do. So don't, and I mean, you don't have to know how to draw and do your own designs. There are so many different embroidery designs out there for sale. You just have to know what to look for. So if you're looking to do something like what I'm doing for my girlfriend's dinner napkins, just look for embroidery frame designs, and you're going to see they have so many beautiful ones. They have square, oval, they have some that look like wreaths, they got flowers all over and stuff like that. And all you got to do is just put the initial in there and you're golden. Okay, and they're going to think you're a rock star. Because you can sew. Yes, Miss Banks, I just got lazy because I actually did a video on how to use the sewing function on the SC1900, but I just got lazy, Miss Banks. And I was just like, oh, I'm in the mood to just hand sew it, so I just did that. But yes, if you have a sewing machine, a lot of sewing machines have the capabilities to sew the buttons for you. The SC1900 does that too. So I do have a video on how to do that. I was just lazy and just didn't want to do it on the machine. So I just said, "Oh, what the heck? Let me just sew it by hand." Um, but yeah, I should have used the machine. Miss Banks is right. I should have used it. Okay. And if you really think about it, I was lazy to do it on the machine, but the machine would have been a lot faster if you really think about it. It would have been cleaner and it would have been faster. This actually took more time for me to do it by hand. Why I picked up the needle and did it by hand, I don't know. I guess I was just in that kind of mood to do it by hand. I don't know. I mean, but Miss Banks, good point. I should have just did it on the machine. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. It would have looked nicer and cleaner, and I bet you it would have been probably stronger, because when I move this a little bit and I look at it, what goes through my mind is, you ever had like a shirt and it had a button and then it starts to like, looks like it's gonna fall off? Well, this already is starting to look like it's not like as strong. So I might have to undo this and just do it on the machine and stuff. Maybe what I'll do is I can do a video too on how I actually did this, and maybe the next one that I make, I'll do it on solid colors and then I'll embroider my name or something like that. That way you guys can see how I do it. And I'll do the whole thing on the sewing machine, on the SC1900 and stuff. I'll even embroider it using the SC1900. That way you guys can see the whole thing, cuz I do want to make more videos on that machine and stuff for you guys. Let me see what else. Hey, Joanna. Hey, Sin. How you doing? Hey, Bobby. How are you? Hey, from California. Hey, Giovanna. There are more than 300 embroidery designers on Facebook that offer designs for sale and give away free designs for you to test out. There are, yes, Susan, there are. But yeah, and I have used several digitizers on Facebook, But I am going to say, just be careful though. Be very, very careful, because there are a lot of scammers out there too. So that's the, it's it really sucks because sometimes it just takes a few to mess it up for other people, because there are some very talented digitizers out there, right? And you want to use them, but at the same time you got to be careful. So, a lot of times, the digitizers that I've used, I've always checked out their reputation. And I've actually reached out to people that have used them before. Um, and sometimes, like the first times that if I'm using someone off the fly, I'll be like, okay, maybe this is $20. That'll hopefully I'll get a digitized design. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. But just got to be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. I know that there are some people that have used other people as digitizers. Just ask around. Who would you recommend? Hey Joan, Miss Holmes, I have had two people that I have worked for. One was by the name of Sebastian. Um, and the other one that I have used is Fossil, and I know you guys have seen him, Fossil Mahoob. He's in our Facebook group and he does put his advertisements out there. You know, I let him for the simple reason that I know that he does very good quality work. He has done all of my digitizing designs for a lot of my customers for their company logos and stuff. Right now, he's working on one of a dog. That's the other logo that we're working on, and it's of the face of a dog, which I'm going to be really interested to see how that comes out. He has always done excellent work for me, reasonable price, you know, and my whole thing is just always there's another guy too. I think I think his name is Victor. I think it's Victor Digitizing. I think they're very good. I have not used them, but I've heard he has very good reputation. And also you got to remember too, who you get what you pay for also. All right. Sometimes if you get a digitizer that like charges you like real cheap money and stuff like that, sometimes I don't know how the work will come out. I don't know. I don't know if it's introductory price or what. But you just gotta give it a shot. You just gotta, can you post their names on your page for us? Yes, Susan, I can do that. Well, I think what I was trying to think, because see, I know there's more digitizers, Susan, out there that are pretty good at what they do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask people to maybe nominate their digitizer, right? Remoro Threads. Yes, Remoro Threads uses somebody by the name of Victor. Thanks, Marlene. I think what I'm going to do is I want to do that because I want to put a area in the Facebook group where I want to list all of the digitizers on there. And I think I'll do a call. I'll probably do a call. And then probably what I'll do is I'll probably try to use them, and see the quality of work that they do. And if they do good, then then I'll recommend them. My thing is I just don't want to create a list of people that I personally have not had any type of interaction with, or I personally don't know if they're actually good digitizers, because I don't want to refer people that I can't vouch for their work. Okay, because then I don't want people be taken advantage of, or then they'll be like, God damn, Jeanette, she recommended them, and look at the crap I got, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. It's like, it's like recommending people for a job. You know what I mean? You know, you want to make sure it's good quality work and stuff that people do. Yes, I like him. I really like Romero Threads. I like the way he teaches, all that kind of stuff. Now the thing is though that he uses I use in Brilliance and he uses something else. So when he's teaching about digitizing, I like to watch But I'm not a digitizer. I'm a machinist. I love to work on the machine. I prefer to pay somebody else to do the digitizing. However, though, I do like to watch people digitize for the simple fact that it doesn't hurt to learn a little bit. You have to learn a little bit because there are times when I even, and not that I get a bad file from a digitizer, because if I do get a bad file or whatever, I'll always work with the digitizer because people make mistakes, right? So it's not a big deal. But I'll work with them to get that fixed. But there have been times when I have purchased embroidery files and they have like a lot of jump stitches, or it's not thick enough or something like that, or I don't like the whole design and I want to take some certain parts of the design away and stuff like that. So I like to learn how to use in Brilliance, and also I like to learn about digitizing so that I know how I can kind of in a way manipulate designs to make it more unique to what I need, right? Because sometimes it's like I could find a design, a piece of a design somewhere and a piece of design somewhere else, and then I can merge them to do whatever I need. Like some people, like they do the birthday shirts, right? And sometimes they buy the numbers, right? So when they buy the numbers, they like the design to kind of like overlap on top of the numbers. So you got to learn a little bit of how to merge designs and modify them and stuff like that. So, or even change them up. Like sometimes if I like I said, a lot of jump stitches. Embroidery designs used to be one of my favorite places. Well, it was actually the first place where I started buying embroidery designs. But lately, every time I buy the designs, they're very, very dense. Or it depends on the design, of course. Okay, not all of them. Okay, I'm just talking about some that I've purchased, which have been, they are big files, and but they're very dense. And then when I run them through in Brilliance, and in Brilliance, I have a video about the density repair kit, and what that does is you highlight the design, you click that button, and it removes all the unnecessary stitches. So I found that there are a lot of times when people are, you know, they're, they're, lost train of thought. You buy the design, right? And then what happens is it's pretty dense. You run the density on there, right? And what it does is it removes the unnecessary stitches. So when those unnecessary stitches are removed, two things happen. Okay, you're saving thread, because what's happening is instead of you can have the same design, and you bought it, it says 20,000 stitches. You run the density, and then it went from 20 to 15,000 stitches. So what happens is that's 5,000 stitches that you don't have to do. So that means you save thread and you save time. So I love that functionality of it, brilliance, because what ends up happening is you cut down on your time, and also you're saving money because you're not using all that extra thread for stitches you really don't need for the design. So that is one of my favorite things regarding it, brilliance. That is an extra module though that you have to buy. But I noticed that when I go to embroiderydesigns.com, some of those designs, I they aren't really stitched too well. They're very, some of them I've noticed, for me, the ones that I purchased have come up very, very dense. So I have to run that repair kit against it. And that kind of fixes it also. But then, it's kind of like it. And then I also noticed a lot of jump stitches, unnecessary jump stitches inside the design. So I have to actually go into Embrilliance, and I have to actually remove each of those jump stitches. And it can be kind of time consuming too. So, it is what it is, right? If you like the design, you want to buy it, I'll suck it up and I'll buy it, and I'll just remove the jump stitches, and I'll run it through the density repair kit to remove those extra stitches, and then I just save the file, and then I'm done. But It is what it is, but mm, quality is yeah. Yeah, Joanna, that's why it's like, you just gotta. How often do you change the needles? Every 8 hours of sewing, okay? And Marlene, um trust me, um I know you're gonna get the edge because I get it too. Okay, you don't want to change the needle because you're thinking, oh, I don't want to throw out a good needle. Needles get dull. Okay, you'll know as more as you start to sew and you start to embroider, you'll know, you know to listen for it. You'll hear it in the machine. It'll sound like it's like pounding, right? You're gonna see that the needle's like pounding. That means that the needle's getting dull, and it can really affect your design. Okay, because what happens is when a needle becomes dull, when it pierces through the fabric, it's going to pierce a bigger hole. Okay. What you want is you want a nice um, clean piercing between the needle into the fabric. So that way it's not creating a big hole. So try to change your needles at least every 8 hours of sewing. Or you can do a rule of thumb where you're sewing and you're embroidering, try to change them every week or every week and a half. I usually do change mine like every like 3 days. I go through needles like crazy. Okay, I buy well, I don't buy, my husband, when he's done with his medicine, he gives me his empty pill boxes, and I take all the old needles and I throw them in the empty pill boxes, close it up and toss it in the trash. And then I always replace all fresh needles because it will affect your embroidery. It really, really, really will. I mean, you will see the difference. You honestly will. And so that's really important. How much do you know to pay? Okay. To have some, Debbie, it really depends on what you are getting digitized regarding the price. Okay. If you have something that's like really, really simple, they may not charge you more. They might charge you $10 or something like that. If you have something that has a lot of detail, you're probably looking at $20, $25. Okay. And it could even go higher. There's a lot of factors that go in when they are pricing their digitizing designs. Okay. Sometimes it depends on the size. Okay. If you want a huge embroidery design, like to put in the back of a jacket or something like that, and you want it to be like an 8 by 13 or something like that. Like I've asked for big ones, and let me tell you, yeah, gotta pay. But it's a lot of stitches. So you have to take into consideration all of that. You're talking about all the stitches that are in that design, all the different color changes that are in that design, the different ways that those stitches have to stitch in order to make certain things look a certain way, like give it that wave look and stuff like that. You have to consider that, so all the details and stuff. So it really depends. Now, one of the things that you can do, Debbie, is when you work with more than just one digitizer, if you know they are all good, okay, and they all produce good quality work. One thing that I do, and I don't have a problem doing it, is you can give that design to each of those digitizers that you work with, and just ask them how much, before they do anything. Just say, this is the design I have, this is what I need, this is the size. Always make sure you tell the digitizer the size that you need the design to be, the fabric that you're going to be digitizing on it. Okay, because depending on what you're using it for, that will determine how they design the file. Like, for instance, if you're going to be digitizing on a hat, there's a specific way that they have to digitize that file, so that way it looks really good on that hat. Okay, because remember, hats, they're round. Okay, your head's round, so they have to make sure that that design can really look nice on the round edge of the hat. and it's not a flat surface, so it's different. Okay, also tell them what material, because when they are digitizing the design, they have to consider the type of weight thread that you're going to use. Like, for instance, when I work with Fazil, and I tell him, hey, I have this logo and it's small fonts, he'll type back to me, he'll say, you're going to be using a 60 weight thread, right? And I'm like, yes, because he says, because he'll come back and he'll tell me those fonts are really small. You're going to have to use a 65/9 needle and a 60 weight thread. And that's what you're going to use, correct? And then, he always confirms with me. And then I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm going to use. And this is what it's going to go on. It's going on a sweatshirt. It's going on a very thin type of shirt or whatever. And then he'll be like, okay. And then he knows how to create it. He knows the type of thread that he's using. He knows the type of needle that I'm going to be using and the fabric that it's going to go on. So he knows exactly how he can digitize that design, right? Because you don't want something that's going to be too dense. You don't want the design to be too dense, and then you're using something that's very light fabric, and then what's going to happen is you're going to get puckering, right? So in those situations, it's that's the thing. To me, a good digitizer will communicate with you. Okay, they're going to want to know all those things that I talked about and stuff. And they're going to want to know about the stabilizer you're going to use, the fabric, the thread, what's it going on, and stuff like that. I mean, they're going to work with you, right? If you have someone that you just send them a design and they just send you a file back, it could work, it can't work. I'm not saying that it's not good. But what I'm saying is, to me, it's like when you're running a business, okay. Um, First of all, when I have something digitized, I don't the money doesn't come out of me. My customer pays for the digitizing, okay. I work with Fazil, and I'm like, okay, how much it's gonna cost Fazil, Sebastian, whoever I use, and I say, this is how much, how much is this gonna cost or whatever, and then I'll tell the customer, this is how much it'll cost to get this design digitized. Are you okay with that? And they'll say yes, no, whatever. If they say yes, then I'll go, okay. I give them the okay, then I go ahead and I pay for it, but I add that cost to the bill, okay? And that file belongs to the customer because they paid for that file. Okay, so if they want, I mean, they say, Jeanette, I want my file. No, it's their file. They paid for it. So I'll say, okay, let me email you the PES file or whatever, But a digitizer should be able to communicate with you about all those things. Okay, so that's just something to think about. Okay, but when pricing as comes, and if I see that there's something that I know is going to cost a lot because it has a lot of details, stuff like that, I will just go to 3 digitizers and I say, hey, how much would you guys charge for this? Okay. Some will charge cheaper than the other. And then, if I know they're all good, of course, I'll go to the cheaper one because I know I'm going to get quality work anyway. Sometimes, a digitizer will just give me a discount or whatever because they know that I give them a lot of work or whatever, because I'm always going to them for my digitizing and stuff. I mean, it depends. It just depends. It just, but that could be kind of tricky. Like, I know I talked with one digitizer, and I gave this digitizer a picture, and I'm not going to say who it is, but she gave me a price where I was just like, really? I was like, wow. I mean, she was up there, okay? And I was just like, and then it's the same file, and I gave it to two others, and their price was here, and she was like through the roof. And I was like, wow. I was like, is she gonna like send me gold with that thing? I was like, wow. So I was just like, mm-mm. And this is the other thing too, as digitizers, you got to be careful, because if I see that to me, the way I look at it is, if I see that your pricing is not even like close to the ballpark as other people's pricing, meanwhile your work is just as good as the others, why would I use you? I mean, you're overpriced. So it's kind of like I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, and that this is the other thing too. I don't want something that's really super overpriced because, like I said, I don't pay for the digitizing. My customers pay for the digitizing. So why would I? It's gonna look bad on me. $50 to digitize something when somebody else is charging me 20. I'm like, no. So it's just. I hope I answered that question. I know it was a mouthful, but I understand what you're saying. I've gotten files that have so many jump stitches and it takes so much time to clean it up. Yes, as it took to stitch out. Yes, Susan, and it is true and stuff. Oh, thank you. And yes, I hope you guys like the video. Please give me a thumbs up and stuff. You get a chance. And I know I am running over. Oh, okay. Hey Kathleen, the software that if you want to look at in Brilliance, I recommend you start with Essentials. Essentials is the basic, and then they have the other modules that you can purchase if you want. You don't have to, okay? But in Brilliance is the one that you start with. All the others is just added things if you want to, okay? So, a lot of times people think in Brilliance, and then they see all these prices, they're like, oh my God, you got to spend all this. No, it's every module has a own separate capability, and you buy what you need. Okay, but Essentials is the first portion, and I think it goes like 139 or 129, something like that. Sometimes it's on sale. I usually have the link on my videos for Essentials if you're interested and stuff. And if you have questions, just let me know and stuff. Okay, I am going to go. I am gonna go, guys, because these are always supposed to be only an hour, and then I'm always like talking like 2 hours. So I'm a talker. Let's see. Oh, okay. Victor's prices. Yep. And see, okay. See, Liliana just put some, and Victor is very, very good, and he is very well known in the embroidery community and stuff. So he is really, really good. But I will put a list of digitizers, and if you guys have a digitizer that you recommend, that you have used, that you've had experience with, let me know, because I would love to add them to the list. Okay, I really would. Because my whole thing is I like to help people, and this is their business and stuff, and if I can help their business grow, why not? Right? Because it's like, the more digitizers we have out there to pick, the better. Sometimes we can have you could be using one digitizer and they got so many orders and they get overwhelmed, and we could share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just something, that I would like to do and everything. So, guys, I am going to go. And because it is getting close to 10 o'clock at night, okay? So you guys have a great weekend. Please be safe. Thank you so much for spending Friday with me. If you guys like this Happy Embroidery Hour, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'm doing videos, tutorials all on embroidery, on sewing. As you can see, I'm going to be working on some more projects and all that kind of stuff. I will make sure to keep that camera on so I can videotape it. And I do like to keep my mistakes in there because that's how we all learn. That's usually my whole big thing. So guys, please have a great weekend. And if you haven't seen our embroidery happy hour, I think it's embroidery. Jesus, I can't talk now. Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. It's a Facebook group that I have. It's a great group for you to join, share, ask questions. It's everyone there is super, super friendly. It's all about helping each other, so that way we can help each other learn and get better on embroidering and sewing. So please join that group, and don't be shy to ask questions, because remember, if you don't ask the questions, you're not going to get the answer and you're not going to learn. Okay. And that's what this is all about, right? So don't be, just go out there and ask that question. As you guys can see, my first placemat, my first one, the squares weren't all aligned, but that's okay. It happens. That's how we learn, right? So you guys have a great night. Please enjoy your weekend. I think the weather here in Virginia is going to be really nice this weekend. So me and are going to go for some nice long walks. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you guys later. So you guys have a good one. See you later. Bye.